Ever since settling on a clean number of 32 franchises, the NFL has experienced divisional harmony. 2 conferences, 4 divisions each, 4 teams each, with a much better, if not perfect, grasp of geography since this was once the NFC West. Come on NFL, seriously, the West? So unless the league expands beyond 32 teams, or maybe if there is a relocation, the current division setup will probably remain for a very long time. As is, we've completed 22 seasons under the current setup, which gives us more than enough data to determine which of these divisions have been the best. But we're going to do so with a twist. We'll explain the twist right after we tell you how we make these determinations, by using C-Score, the same as we always do. C-Score is this channel's metric for evaluating every single team during the Super Bowl era beyond simply looking at their record. For a deeper explanation of C-Score, be sure to check out the description of this video. As far as the twist goes, well, it's extremely simple. We'll be taking the combined C-Score of each NFL team since 2002. The team in a division with the highest score is eliminated. These are those 8 teams. No real surprises here, and no crutches for the other 3 teams in the division to lean on. Thank you for joining us today. It's now time to see which NFL divisions from the neck down have been the best, and which have been the worst since 2002. Coming in at number 8 is the AFC South, who of course had to welcome an expansion team in 2002. Without the Indianapolis Colts in tow, they put up a dreadful combined C-score of negative 417.22. The worst of the bunch here were the Jacksonville Jaguars. They've won the division twice, made the playoffs 4 times, and won 4 total playoff games, with 1 AFC title game appearance and no Super Bowl appearance. Their total C-score was almost the negative 190. Next is the expansion team from that 2002 season, the Houston Texans. They're actually 7-time division champions, but they've never landed a wildcard spot. In those 7 playoff appearances, they've won 5 games, but never advanced to either the AFC title game or the Super Bowl. Their C-score is pushing negative 150. Then we have the Titans, winners of the first AFC South Division title among just 4 total. In 8 playoff appearances, they've only won 5 games, but have made it to the AFC Championship game twice. They never did reach a Super Bowl though, clanking in with a C-score of just under negative 80. Next up at number 7 is the NFC West, a division only saved by fits of greatness against a backdrop of mostly sad football. Without the Seahawks to boost the division, the rest of the lads culled together a C-score of negative 332.481. Sorry, Cardinals fans, it was kinda close, but you do bring up the rear here. Zonas won the division 3 times and made the playoffs 5 times. 3 of their total 5 playoff wins came in one magical season though, accounting for a single NFC title game and Super Bowl appearance. Yet, their total C-score just missed hitting negative 160. In between 2 cities, the Rams were able to scrape by and just miss this bottom spot, despite some cover-your-eyes-level horrific seasons. They've won the West 4 times and made the playoffs 7 times, coming away with 8 total victories. They've made 2 NFC title game appearances, 2 Super Bowl appearances, and of course, they won Super Bowl 56. Yet their total C-score is still mired at negative 137. Then we have the San Francisco 49ers, 6-time division winners with 8 playoff appearances. They never once went one and done, totaling 14 playoff victories. They've been in the NFC title game 7 times, and the Super Bowl 3 times, but haven't brought home the big one. Yet their overall C-score is still underwater at around negative 35. It's getting a little less depressing with the NFC North at number 6, but not by much. The Green Bay Packers are not here to rescue this bunch, and without them, the North sees its total C-score plunge down to negative 239.074. The worst team here is also the NFC's worst team of this era, the Detroit Lions. They are the one-time, yet the defending champions of the North, and they've been in the playoffs 4 times. They've won 2 games and made an NFC title game appearance again from last season, but haven't yet seen the Super Bowl. Their C-score just missed hitting negative 200. The Chicago Bears are next, having pulled out 4 division titles with 1 additional wildcard appearance. They've only won 3 playoff games, but that's still translated to 2 NFC title games and a Super Bowl appearance. But of course, they lost that game to Indianapolis and carry a total C-score of nearly negative 70. Then we have the cursed Minnesota Vikings, always kinda pretty good, but never the best. From 5 division titles and 8 playoff appearances, they have 4 victories resulting in 2 NFC Championship game appearances, but nothing more. They are the first team we've run into with a positive C-score at just over 28 over this 22 season period. Our 5th place division, the AFC East, has been saved in recent seasons, but not enough to leave the negative 200s. Without the New England Patriots to prop them up, the East spits out a total C-score of negative 208.745. The New York Jets actually aren't the bottom team here. Just kidding, of course they are. They won the division in 2002. And that's it. They have managed 5 total playoff appearances though, and actually have 6 total wins, landing themselves in 2 AFC title games, but no Super Bowl appearances. Their total C-score slipped just under negative 137. The Miami Dolphins come next, and it ain't much prettier. They too have only 1 division title and have made the playoffs just 4 times. And in those 4 playoff appearances, they have... Hold on, let me add these up. Yeah, they have 0 wins, the only team in the NFL without one. But they've mostly avoided having terrible seasons and get their C-score to just under negative 81. Now the Buffalo Bills, who have used the last 5 seasons to climb out of the dregs. Since 2002, really since 2017, they have 4 division titles, 6 playoff appearances, and 5 playoff wins. But just 1 AFC title game appearance, with no Super Bowl appearances and seemingly no way past the Kansas City Chiefs. Yet they've saved their C-score and brought it into the positive realm at right around 9.4. We're in the top half now, and at number 4 with the NFC East, we see it's getting a little less crappy. Subtracting the Philadelphia Eagles from the equation, the East has itself a C-score of negative 163.125. No surprise here at the bottom, it's the Washington Fighting Daniel Snyders of no permanent name. They've won the East 3 times and made the playoffs 5 times, but never with more than 10 regular season wins. They've won 1 playoff game, never made it past the divisional round, and carry a C-score of just better than negative 184. And now we have the NFL's Jekyll and Hyde franchise, the New York Giants. They've won the division 3 times and been to the playoffs 8 times. They've won 9 games, 8 of them coming in 2 seasons. That of course led to 2 NFC title game appearances, 2 Super Bowl appearances, and 2 Super Bowl victories. Each of those playoff wins may as well be named after a Kardashian. There are 9 Kardashians, right? I have no flipping idea. Anyway, throughout it all, the Giants are still deep in the negative when it comes to C-score, pushing minus 75 despite all that ridiculousness. That leaves us with the NFC's best eligible team for this countdown over this time period, the Dallas Cowboys. They've won the East 7 times and have been to the playoffs 10 times. They have the regular season resume to match the Giants' postseason resume, but that's just not how Dallas rolls. They have but 4 playoff wins to their credit, with nary a single trip to either the NFC title game nor the Super Bowl. Yet their C-score is 94.99. I guess the playoffs just aren't for everybody. At number 3, we have the NFC South, the most consistent division we have here today. Every team beyond the New Orleans Saints is in the negative, but none worse than negative 50. Thus, we get a good jump in C-score to negative 105.784. The Carolina Panthers do bring up the rear, and while they're a laughingstock now, they haven't always been. They're a 5-time division champion, and they've secured 2 more wildcard appearances. 8 playoff wins have led to 3 NFC title game appearances and 2 Super Bowl appearances, where they did take the loss each time. Their C-score for the era was slightly under negative 48. The next closest Jekyll and Hyde team comes in next with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They won the first ever NFC South title in 2002 and have added 5 more since. They've only had 1 wildcard appearance, which they turned into a Super Bowl title alongside that 2002 season. They've won 9 total playoff games with a C-score of just better than negative 44. Then we have the Atlanta Falcons. They've been to the playoffs 8 times, half of those resulting from division titles. They've won 6 games, making 3 NFC Championship games, and have even gotten to a Super Bowl, where they channeled their inner George C. Scott and Marlon Brando in refusing the honor of being Super Bowl champions. Atlanta's total C-score sits slightly higher than negative 14. The AFC West nabs our number 2 spot. Even without the Kansas City Chiefs, the West still has 2 very good teams, and one that's kinda not so much, enough to leave this total C-score in the negatives, but are first in double digits at minus 87.701. That team is the Oakland/Las Vegas Raiders. They won the division that first season in 2002, and that's it. They did win 2 playoff games that season in making the Super Bowl, but that's also been it. They've returned to the playoffs twice since without another victory to their name. With a total C-score of negative 243.43, the Raiders have been the NFL's worst team since 2002 and are the albatross that brings down the AFC West. And that's because this is the only division with 3 of its teams in positive C-score territory, starting here with the Denver Broncos. They've won the West 6 times and have been to the playoffs 8 times in total. Making the most of 7 playoff victories, they've been to the AFC title game 3 times, the Super Bowl twice, and won Super Bowl 50, all culminating in a C-score of nearly 45. Which leaves us with the San Diego/Los Angeles Chargers. They're essentially the Cowboys, Vikings, and the Bills all rolled into one. 5 division titles and 8 playoff appearances have netted 5 wins, 1 AFC title game appearance, and 0 trips to the Super Bowl. Yet they sport a triple-digit C-score of nearly 111 points, bringing new meaning to the word underachievers. That word is chargering. Topping our list, perhaps not so surprisingly, is the AFC North. Created from the ashes of the AFC Central, the North doesn't count the Baltimore Ravens here, but still capture an overall C-score of minus 37.435. And like the West, this score is brought down by one team and one team only, the Cleveland Browns. Every team in the NFL has won a division title since realignment. Every team, that is, except for the Browns. They have made the playoffs 3 times and have even won a game, but they haven't even sniffed a Super Bowl appearance. Yet with a total C-score of negative 226.54, they just beat out the Raiders and in somewhat typical Browns fashion, can't even be the best at losing. The Cincinnati Bengals just missed giving this division 3 teams with positive C-scores. They're 6-time division champions and have made the playoffs 9 times. After some rough outings, they've rebounded to win 5 playoff games, making the AFC title game twice and making it to the Super Bowl once. Their C-score sits at just below negative 17. Which brings us to by far the highest scoring franchise we will be looking at today, the Pittsburgh Steelers. 14 playoff appearances with 9 division titles, 14 playoff wins, 5 AFC title game appearances, 3 Super Bowl appearances, and victory in Super Bowls 40 and 43. Only Pittsburgh has a higher C-score than any of the 8 division leaders that were left out today. In fact, they scored higher than 6 of them, coming in with the 3rd highest C-score of the entire era at 206.349. Looking here at all the divisions, it's sad to say that none of them were able to make it above water without their leader in C-score. Not surprisingly, the bottom 3 on this list stay in the negative even with all 4 teams in the division included. Everyone else, though, makes it to the other side. The 2 worst teams of this era, the Raiders and the Browns, just so happen to reside in our top 2 divisions, demonstrating the overall strength of the remaining teams. And just in case you're curious, yes, the AFC East rises all the way to number 1 when all teams are included, with the New England Patriots providing that much of a boost. Thank you so much for joining us today and for making it this far into the video. I'm hoping you enjoyed the little twist that we added, which was in an effort to make the list a little less predictable. Please do the whole YouTube thing if you don't mind. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and ding that bell to be notified about all future releases. Feel free to share your thoughts about anything you just saw or anything else you may have on your mind down in the comments section below. Y'all are an intelligent audience with lots of interesting things to say, and it's something I personally always look forward to. Thank you once again for joining us today, and until next time, I hope you have an awesome day.